Convicted murderer Bryan Kohberger is expected to receive his sentence today. Now, earlier this month, he pleaded guilty to killing 4 Idaho college students back in 2022. As part of a deal to avoid the death penalty, he'll instead receive 4 consecutive life sentences without parole. The victims' families will have a chance to give impact statements at today's hearing. Kohberger also has the option to speak. One question, though, will we ever learn the motive? That will be we have to wait to see today what happens.
It is 40 minutes after the hour. President Trump accusing former President Barack Obama of treason, and now the former president is responding, which is unusual.
It all stems from an investigation into Russia's role in the 2016 election. Doug Luzader is live in Washington following this one. Doug, good morning.
Hey, good morning. President Trump has never really shied away from calling out his predecessors, but even by those standards, this latest accusation is jarring.
This was treason. This was every word you can think of.
A stunning accusation from President Trump. While meeting with the leader of the Philippines, he accused former President Obama of manipulating intelligence to shift the narrative of Russian involvement in the 2016 election, leading to accusations against Trump of collusion with Russia.
What they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level.
A spokesman for the former president issued a rare response, writing, "Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction."
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard released documents that she says make the case, but Democrats in Congress point out that bipartisan investigations back up the claims of Russian meddling.
When he says something like that, it should be universally condemned. Imagine how Trump would react if someone said it about him. He'd go nuts.
Last night, Trump urged fellow Republicans to follow his lead.
And you should mention that every time they give you a question that's not appropriate. Just say, oh, by the way, Obama cheated on the election. You'll watch the camera turn off instantly.
Now, a prosecution against former President Obama is very unlikely, even if it were to happen. The Supreme Court last year, in a case involving President Trump, gave a great deal of protection to former presidents. Back to you guys.
11 minutes after the hour, President Trump says that the EU, the European Union, will be in D.C. today. They're looking to hammer out a new trade deal.
Now, this comes a day after the administration announced an agreement with Japan. The president has been threatening countries around the world with tariffs on products imported to the U.S. The changing policy has already led to price hikes and uncertainty for businesses. But the White House says it expects to announce several new deals in the coming days. House Speaker Mike Johnson refusing to take up a vote on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files, putting lawmakers' demands for answers on hold until September. But when they return, we could hear testimony from the woman believed to have been Epstein's right hand. Both the House Oversight Committee and the Justice Department say they wish to hear from Ghislaine Maxwell.
If you're headed out the door right now, just a couple things you'll want to know first.
Yeah, if you enjoy a cold glass of orange juice in the morning, you might feel a squeeze on your wallet soon. The price of OJ could jump by as much as 25% because of tariffs. A U.S. importer is now suing the Trump administration, saying a proposed 50% tariff on Brazilian goods would cost them millions, leading to layoffs and higher prices. The lawsuit claims the tariff lacks legal grounds as it wasn't issued through a formal executive order. Now, for context, Brazil provides more than half of America's orange juice.
Also, Hershey's is kicking up prices of its chocolate by double digits because of high cocoa prices. So there have been supply issues with cocoa that leads to, higher prices and higher costs. Now, earlier this year, the company said it was trying to absorb the cost by changing the sizes and the prices of the chocolate treats. So if you have a Peacock subscription, it's going to cost you $3 more starting today. So if you have ads, it's going to cost you $11. If you're ad free, it goes up to $17 a month. Sorry about your luck. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, we've got a new study that probably doesn't come as a big surprise. It suggests that smartphone use at an early age may affect mental health.
Yeah. Researchers looked at data from more than 100,000 Gen Z adults, those are like the 26 and younger, right? They found those who got phones at age 12 or younger more likely to be struggling with aggression, low self-worth, emotional issues. Early use of cell phones also linked to cyberbullying, sleep issues, strained family relationships too.
Well, a free app wants to pay you to cut down on your social media use. It's called Deo. It pays $5 a day if you only check your socials 30 minutes in the day. You start to lose money for every extra minute. You can use the money on deals in the app. The company says it does not collect any personal information and is funded by the commissions it earns from sales.
Amazon plans to acquire Bee. It's a startup company known for wearable AI. Company makes a wristband capable of transcribing your conversations. Okay, and with using AI and small microphones. Bee says that Amazon's purchase is meant to make its technology available to everybody. Amazon hasn't announced the terms of the deal or when it will be finalized. When, do I want that?
I need to learn more. I need more
Do
information.
I want you listening and transcribing all of my conversations? Not
It
really.
depends on which ones they are.
Are you kidding me? How many times do I cover up this mic?
That's true. That's true. You can't do it here.
Coca-Cola with pure cane sugar officially going to be on the shelves after a push from President Trump.
Now, this is not going to replace the usual Coke product, which uses the high fructose corn syrup, right? Coke plans to roll out a brand new cane sugar version sometime in the fall, and it could cost you maybe up to 15% more is what they're saying.
Okay.
A final name for the product is still in the works.
It does taste better. I'm not going to lie to you. It really does. All right, Taco Bell. Have you ever gone there and thought, ooh, you know what would be good is if that was part of this and maybe if they added something? Well, have your say, why don't you? So you get to take over the menu. Taco Bell just launched Fan Style, new feature on the app where you can create and name your own order. The most popular picks could earn reward points and even land on the national menu. You have until August 13 to enter. You don't have to buy anything, but you do need to be a rewards member. My thing is, though, if I order something, like, how is everybody else going to know that they can order it too?
Well, it might come on the menu.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe it's somehow in the app then.
It's going to be quite a menu if like thousands of people are submitting things.
Lena's Taco. I'm sure it'll come up with a better name.
Families are eyeing changes to their shopping habits this school year to save money. A survey by financial services company Bankrate shows almost a third of consumers say they plan to adjust their back-to-school shopping this year. Cost-saving measures include looking for cheaper brands and spending less overall on new school supplies. The company says higher prices and growing interest rates are weighing on shoppers.
Well, kids are turning to AI when looking for friendship. That's according to a new UK report that found children are using artificial intelligence for advice on just about everything, and now to find friendship. The report, called Me, Myself, and AI, found 64% of kids use chatbots for help with homework, what to wear, and tough conversations. Over a third say AI is an actual friend. 15% say they would rather talk to a chatbot than to a real person. A majority of the parents surveyed said they are worried chatbots are giving their kids false information.
All right, so don't waste your money on an expensive next generation device upgrade, maybe your iPhone, for example. How about just maximizing the iPhone you already have instead? From creativity to convenience, AI to enhanced security. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello has the features you probably are not using just yet. I have my good eye on this one, Steve. I'm wondering what I'm not using right now.
I mean, I feel a little bit bad telling people how they should use their phone more. I'm very guilty of using mine too much. But the folks at PC Magazine have come up with 102 ways that you're probably underutilizing the technology in it. My apologies to the Android folks this morning. This is iOS 18. But if nothing else, you can sit back and laugh about how the iPhone people think this is all very new and your phone probably did all this stuff a year ago. So let's start with that AI technology as it relates to emojis, right? These days, we're essentially communicating in hieroglyphics. But just in case there's not an emoji that can accurately reflect how you're feeling in the moment, you can now create your own. You go into your messaging and you click on the emoji button, and you'll notice there's something now called Genmoji, right? So you can generate your own emoji. So we're going to put in a prompt that says news van, for example, because there's not one that we like in the emojis. And it will actually create different news van emojis for you. If you find one that you like this one's pretty cool, you can actually add it to your personal library and then use it as much as you like. One of the things that really drives me crazy about using my phone is all of the distracting things on web pages that I go to, like giant advertisements, for example, right? That create these huge fields in the middle of what it is that I'm trying to read. So instead, you can click on this little icon in the lower left-hand corner here and click hide distracting items. Now when I touch those things, watch what happens. I hide them and they disappear. I hide them and they disappear. Even stuff from the actual website that I'm not interested in, I can just hide and it'll go away, so that all I'm left with is the content that I came there to read in the first place. Over to the home page we go, where I use Face ID as a general security setting for my iPhone just to get into it. But now you can add a second layer to that by doing Face ID for individual apps. So for example, if I go to my Instagram and I long press on the icon here, there's a pop-up menu that'll come up that says require Face ID. Now I can enable a second layer of Face ID that's app specific. Maybe it's for my banking information, maybe it's for my social media, or anything else that I want to make sure is extra private for me only. And finally, I don't know about you, but I'm still getting so many of those telemarketing calls, and sometimes I just want the phone to stop ringing when it's an unknown number. Well, now you can send those unknown calls directly to voicemail. If you go into the settings on your phone and click on the phone app, you can scroll all the way down and take a look at what we've enabled here, right? Silence unknown callers. I've got it set to the on position, which means that calls from unknown numbers will be silenced, sent directly to voicemail, and then displayed in the recents list. So you'll still get a voicemail, you'll still get the information about the caller, just in case you actually do need to call somebody back, in case it was a call you actually did need that you ended up missing. We've got, again, 102 of these from PC Magazine, a link on our station website, and when you come see me online, facebook.com/SaveMeSteve.
That Genmoji, I had just pulled out my phone, and I'm like, let me figure out how it was so quick, I might have to go back and look at it to see how I do that. But there are some ideas in my head right now I'm going to have to figure out and create my own. Steve Noviello, we appreciate you, sir.
Good to see you.
You know, some homeowners are telling us their American dream has become a nightmare.
Okay, so we have our consumer reporter Heather Sullivan here, taking a look at why they're making their payments, but they're getting foreclosure notices.
Yeah, imagine being able to buy your first home, a dream you never thought that you'd be able to attain. You've been making payments, but suddenly they're not being recorded properly, and you're threatened with foreclosure. Marigel Cooper was able to reach her dream of buying her first home through the Harris County Housing Authority's homeownership program, making payments with her own money and her housing choice voucher. But she says since her mortgage was transferred 18 months ago to a different loan servicer, Nation Star Mortgage, doing business as Mr. Cooper Mortgage and Cross Country Mortgage, she says her payments have not been consistently recorded.
And I have proof of my mortgage statement showing that they received the payments and they posted the payments. Then they want to turn around and send me a certified letter saying I owe over $8,000 or they're going to move forward with foreclosure.
We spoke with two other homeowners who say they've had the same problem. Mr. Cooper Mortgage tells us they have been working with the homeowners to resolve these issues. But Nation Star, again doing business as Mr. Cooper, has already faced past lawsuits, including agreeing to pay nearly $6 million this year to settle allegations that it violated servicing laws that led to some borrowers losing their homes. In the next hour, I'm going to show you more about what's happening here, what Mr. Cooper and what the Harris County Housing Authority say about this issue. We also talk with an attorney about steps that homeowners can take when their mortgage payments are not being properly credited to their accounts by any loan servicer or lender.